Let's bring in senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer, who's live in that committee room, along with politics reporter Brittany Shepherd, as we wait for the day's questioning to begin. Devin, Judge Jackson was asked about a number of hot-button issues yesterday: abortion, race, same-sex marriage, guns. Has she given any clues as to how she would approach potential cases on those issues as a Supreme Court justice?
You know, she danced around those issues like all Supreme Court nominees do, Diane. They talk about a commitment to impartiality, looking at the facts, but decline to take a position on those issues because they very likely will come before her if she's going to be on the court. But we did learn some interesting things. You know, she doesn't have a lot of casework on these issues. Asked about the Second Amendment, she said it's a fundamental right that the Supreme Court has affirmed. On the issue of marriage, she said she's aware that religious faiths have a traditional view of marriage, although she declined to give her view. And on the issue of abortion, she talked about the issue of it being settled law, Roe versus Wade being established. But interestingly, late last night in an exchange with Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, who asked about this case that's before the Supreme Court now from Mississippi, if Roe versus Wade is rolled back or overturned, she said she'd respect that as precedent if she makes it to the Supreme Court. Very interesting answer there. Likely those same questions will come up again in the second round today, which is getting set to start anytime now, Diane.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of action is going on in the room right now. Brittany, it looks like Judge Jackson has the votes to be confirmed. She doesn't need any Republican support. So what's the playbook for Democrats and Republicans in these hearings? What are they trying to accomplish?
You're right, Diane. The White House and Democrats in that chamber know that barring any cataclysmic change, they're going to get a historic nominee through. But the question now for Democrats in the White House is, what kind of headline can we get out of this? All names and whispers during the breaks today are going to be on three names: Collins, Romney, and Murkowski. Three Republicans the Democrats think they might be able to bring into their tent. Democrats are eager for a above-the-fold headline after this, that not only is this a historic nomination, but a bipartisan one. You know, Democrats are really worried about losing their majority in the midterms coming up, and they're doing anything they can to notch any kind of political win. You know, the numbers are against Biden, and they know that they are going to be clinging on to that House majority like crazy. And Republicans know this too. So they're doing all of their best to speak to those Republicans on their side and say, whatever you do, please review Ketanji Brown Jackson's personality, please review her jurisprudence, and do not side with Democrats, though it's going to be a very difficult argument for Republicans to make.
So, Devin, what can we expect to hear in today's questioning? Are you looking out for any new topics?
Yeah, there's not a lot of ground left untread, Diane. I mean, remember, she was here just less than a year ago. A lot of the same questions we heard yesterday were asked before. Yesterday was dominated by those questions about her criminal sentencing and the Gitmo detainees. Again, those facts have been in the record the three previous times she was here. They came up significantly yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see whether Republicans go back at those same lines of questioning as forcefully as they did. But it's going to be another 9-hour slog today. In fact, they didn't finish the first round last night because it went so late. We're expected to start with questioning by Senator Thom Tillis of North Carolina, a Republican. Then finish with Jon Ossoff of Georgia. They just took their seats. In fact, Raphael Warnock, the African-American senator from Georgia, is here as well to watch this unfold this morning. But then they go into a second round of questions, 20 minutes each, 22 senators. We're expecting this will go as late as 9 o'clock tonight. Again, the judge going to be in that hot seat. But again, it'll be worth watching today. As Brittany just mentioned, though, Republicans will be the key to watch. Lindsey Graham may have raised some red flags and fallen by the wayside. But Mitt Romney, very interesting last night, Diane, mentioned that he said there's no there when it comes to some of the allegations that have come up here. So that's one of the dynamics we'll be following. Are these attacks on her going to stick?
And Brittany, regardless of whether or not she needs them to get confirmed, do you think she will get Republican support at the end of these hearings? And what are you watching for as questioning resumes today?
I think Romney is going to be the big question mark, like you heard Devin say. He told reporters there's no there, but he's not settled. But it's more likely that Judge Brown Jackson gets Collins and Murkowski, who previously voted for her for the circuit court. So there's precedent for support there. But of course, these people are thinking about their constituency and how this plays back home. And my eyes are on the Republicans who are bringing props, the Cruzes, the Hawleys of the world, who are rumored to be in contest for the Republican nomination to snag Biden's seat in 2024. I know it seems a long time away, but candidates are essentially soft launching their campaigns now. That's why they're rummaging towards sound bites and bringing props and pressing Ketanji Brown Jackson on issues that have little relevance to her expertise or her experience or her potential seat on the Supreme Court, but have a lot to do with what's playing out in state houses and in schools and in playgrounds, because these clips play well on other news programs, in fundraising emails, in appeals to donors when they are going to potentially go toe-to-toe to Donald Trump. So my eyes is on Ted Cruz, on Josh Hawley, on what they might be saying as they take the second bite from that very thin apple later this evening.
And is it the same for the Democratic side? Presumably they have some hopefuls there that are also trying to make a name for themselves. Every politician wants a bit of the spotlight. So are we going to see some of the drama played up today, do you think?
I think a little bit. We used to call Cory Booker that he had youth pastor energy on the campaign trail. You heard Dick Durbin say, called him Reverend Booker last night. I think you're going to see a little bit more of that, and more on the Democratic side. They're hoping to sell the human side. They're hoping to get maybe a tear out of Ketanji Brown Jackson, about to show her as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a family member of those in law enforcement. And so if we're thinking about equal drama, think more of waterworks on the Democrat side and fireworks on the Republican side.
We are hearing that Judge Jackson's family has arrived, so it looks like the hearing will get started shortly. She is now in the hallway making her way into the room. Devin, how much of this, I know we talked about how some of these questions are really aimed at scoring some political points, but how much of it is also aimed at setting a precedent for what will then be expected for future nominees to answer?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of this, Diane, is about setting benchmarks, setting flags. You know, we've heard Republicans in this hearing so far gripe about the way that past nominees have been treated, Democrats bringing things up. So a lot of this is the jockeying of politics in the United States Senate. Because these nominations, these appointments are for a lifetime, we will continue to hear some of that today. But I got to say, to pick up where Brittany left off there, this has really exposed sort of the two sides of the Republican Party, right? I mean, we've heard from the Cruz-Hawley wing of the party, these conspiracy theories, QAnon-related issues coming up here, but also the Mitt Romneys, the Chuck Grasslys, the Ben Sasses of the party. They didn't raise a lot of the issues that have been, you know, knocked down by the National Review as smears. And so we're seeing the divisions within the party on full display here in this hearing as well, and I think that's very telling, Diane.
Seeing Judge Jackson making her way into the room now. Her husband behind her, looks like at least one of her daughters is there as well. Devin, is there any risk here? Do Republicans have to tread carefully when they're asking some of these critical questions? And is there any risk for either side when it comes to the parties questioning her today? Where do they have to tread carefully?
Well, there sure is a risk, Diane, and experts we talked to, Republican strategists, said that Republicans had to be very careful to asking her about race. Boy, they got close to the line yesterday, but we will continue to see today whether they prosecute that case.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.